Today I went to an estate sale, something I haven't done in probably over a year now. I think the last one I was at would have been sometime in summer or fall of 2019. This particular sale was one of the ones that was run by a company. It wasn't a homeowner running it, and so naturally when you have the sales people doing it, prices go up because they're looking to make a profit rather than just get the stuff out of the house. So the prices weren't the greatest, which I expected going into it. These are the four items that I got here. The Realistic CD3300 for the $50. The Sunbeams Vista Professional Food Processor for the $40. And these two Vornado fans, the smaller one was the $5 and the larger one was the $10. This is not complete, I don't think, but it's got several different tools with it. Certainly enough to be totally usable. And so even though I thought the price of the boombox was outrageous, the other items were a pretty good price, especially the food processor, because even if you buy like a cheap China one new, they're usually triple digits. So to get a nice quality vintage one for the $40 is really good. So cumulatively, it was actually a pretty good deal. Now, going to work this morning, I remembered that I didn't have a whole lot of money left because it was the end of the week and I had been buying dinner for myself and some other people throughout the week. And so even though I usually carry a lot of money with me in case a sale does show up, I didn't have a whole lot. So my intention was to go to the bank machine after work. Somebody came in, I wasn't expecting to come in, and so I was talking to them, and I got distracted enough that I forgot to go to the bank machine. So I go to the sale, and I'm looking at the stuff that was there, and I looked through the wallet real quick to see what was in there, and it was about $90 in there, rough estimate. And so I knew when I had selected these four items, I was getting close, if not exceeding what I had. Most of the time, these places will barter with you pretty easily. And it's not unusual that I can get them to knock off $10, $15, $20, some even $30 from a $100 sale. So I didn't think it would be an issue, even though I didn't have every last dollar to meet the additions of the price tags. So I go to the counter, and the individual working the cashier counted it up, and it ended up being $105. And she says, "Oh, we'll just do 100." And so I thought, "Oh, this will be no problem," you know. So I counted all the money I had. It ended up being $92. And I said, "I only got 92. Could we just drop it to 92?" And she gets real snarky to me, and she says, "No, because it was already supposed to be 105. And I was like, "What?" And I looked to her, I says, "Well, this is all I got. So either we'll do a 92 or no sale." And she's just like frozen there by the fact that I want her to come down $8 in order to make the sale. So I says to her, "That's fine. I'll just put one of the fans back." And then an individual that was in line with me, she whips out her wallet, which was much bigger than mine, and she says, I'll cover the difference." And I says to her, No, you don't understand. I don't need this stuff. You know, I'll put the fan back and it's not a problem at all. But she insisted that she buys the stuff. And so I look back over at the cashier lady, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, are you really going to entertain this situation over $8? And it was like she read my mind, because she says, "No, that's okay. We'll cut the $8 off. We'll take 92 and that's it." And this other woman that offered to pay for it was completely insistent upon giving her the $8. I feel like it was the last thing that she did. She was giving her the $8 so I could buy the stuff I don't even need. And so ultimately, she did. And she gave me this piece of paper. when she gave her the money. And she says to me, "I'm doing this in memory of my son." And I kind of felt for her because I lost an uncle recently, and he was the kind of person that would do stuff like that. So I took the paper from her, and the snarky cashier had a drastic attitude change, and the transaction was completed. I gave my gratitude towards the woman that offered $8, and I walked out. And it kind of just stayed with me for a while, because this was a situation where there was no need. You know, there's a lot of times you see something like this happen, you know, say like in a grocery store, and the difference of that $8 is putting food on the table tonight or not. And so in that case, a lot of people hopefully should feel a moral obligation to help. Or, you know, like in this case, let's say there was, you know, I had some children with me and they wanted something and I couldn't afford it. That would be a situation where there would be that emotional pull and even a moral feeling to help. But this was a case where there was absolutely no need. But she, for whatever reason, I may go my entire life and never fully understand why, but this woman was completely persistent that she pays for the stuff. And she says to me, just help somebody else. Which I do. I've been in a couple situations where people haven't been able to afford things, and I always clean up the mess. Because I can. And so I feel that I have a moral obligation to do that. And so I do. You know, I didn't need the money in this case, I just forgot to bring it. It was, you know, stupid forgetfulness as usual. Anyway, so I just thought that was really neat, because as is usually the case when you do that for somebody, she had no idea how far this was going to go. She had no idea that I was going to tell 30,000 people that she was a nice woman. And as far as this organization goes that was on the paper, I don't really know anything about it. I'm going to look into it later today, and if it is a, you know, not a flaky, who knows what kind of crazy cockamamie organization, I'll probably put a donation into that person. But anyways, you know, do your due diligence before you give any money to that organization, because I've never heard of it before. I have no idea what it is. But anyways, so that transpired, and that's one of the things I like about going to estate sales and tag sales and stuff, because there's a different experience in buying something on the computer. When you go to these estate sales and these tag sales, you meet different people, and a lot of times they're very eccentric people like myself, and I've met a lot of people at these different sales that I'll remember forever because they were so strange or they were so comical, and this woman is no exception. You know, now every time I'm cooking in the kitchen with that food processor, I'm hearing music on this radio, I'm using those fans, I'm going to think of her and how nice it was that she did that, even though there was really no reason. And I think that we need more people like her in the world. This society has turned into a very self-centered, self-seeking, and self-pleasing collection of individuals. And that's one of the ill effects of the iPhones. And it's unfortunate, because if we would all go around and think of other people and what's better for those around us instead of just what's better for ourselves, the whole world would be in a much better situation.